From the News Channel 5 Network, this is Out and About Today. Sponsored by the Tennessee Performing Arts Center.
Well, hello and welcome to Out and About Today. We have a busy show for you tonight, including a look at the intriguing history of the pride flag. But up first, throughout the pandemic, the theater community was hit particularly hard. Some companies didn't survive while others pivoted and are on the cusp of thriving again. One of those is one of Nashville's most respected companies, Actors Bridge Ensemble. With us tonight, Artistic Director Vali Forrister, who is returning to the stage for the first time in 7 years, yay, in the upcoming Actors Bridge production of Beautiful Little Things, and Actors Bridge Board Chair Heather Lefkowitz. Welcome, ladies. So glad to have you on the show this evening.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Chuck.
All right.
It's great to be with you.
Oh, you guys look terrific. I love seeing your faces. Next time, I hope to see your faces live in person, but we are glad that you're with us. Now, we talked about companies pivoting, and so I'm going to start with you, Heather. You're board chair of Actors Bridge Ensemble, and again, the Actors Bridge Ensemble has a special place in my heart. I just love that company. Tell me, as a board chair, when the pandemic hit, what were your thoughts? Were they on survival? Were you thinking it would just be a short little pandemic? What were you thinking?
That's a great question. I think one thing that I was thinking, and I think the rest of the board, we were in agreement about this, was thinking about resilience and sustainability. So the recognition that we wanted to use this experience to think about our organization in ways that would be helpful. This was the most disruptive kind of event that our company had ever experienced, but we don't want to assume that it's the last. So we wanted to think about how can we plug into our strengths and expand our offerings and be creative and think about how to grow more resilient so that ultimately our organization would be more sustainable once things return to normal, although we're not really sure if that will ever be exactly the case. So I think that was our focus in thinking about resiliency and sustainability. One way I think that we thought about that is I think sometimes in my work at Vanderbilt, we talk a lot about systems thinking and resilient organizations as being ones that are able to occupy a wide plateau or space and not just focus on kind of the things that they've always done. So we tried to plug into one of our pretty innate strengths, I think, which is the building of community. And our space on Charlotte Avenue in the Dark Horse, where we have held classes and plays and storytelling events, has always been the center of our community. But when it was empty for a year and a half, we had to think about other ways to grow our community. And so in order to think about that, we expanded our offerings. So we pivoted. Vali and our other instructors were amazing at learning how to teach Meisner classes on Zoom. And it was different, but it was really great as well. We also started new offerings that were really meaningful to our community. We started a script reading book club where we would get together weekly and read a script together. So actors and students were able to read, and then we'd have a discussion of the play. And that was a really beautiful time to kind of come together on Zoom. We pivoted Act Like a Girl to a virtual event and video events for our community. So instead of live performances, the girls were still able to have a performance that was edited and recorded. We had a premiere, and so different kinds of events associated with that. So we actually really expanded the space in which we operate in during the pandemic.
And Heather, you guys also had so much success with that. I wanted to ask Vali, as the artistic director, and you have been the artistic director for years with Actors Bridge, Vali, tell me kind of, was your experience as an artistic director, did it prepare you in any way for what you guys needed to do during the pandemic?
Well, I think one of the things about being an artistic director and being a producer is you have plan A, B, C, and D. You know that things never go as planned. And so the idea of thinking broadly about how to pivot is sort of built into what it means to be a producer and to be an artistic director. I also think I have to give tons of credit not only to our board, but to our student community, because they just instantly said, we're with you. We will help you figure it out. We'll come and take these classes and we'll figure out together how to make Meisner work on Zoom. And
how did that work?
It did.
And how did it work as far as teaching the classes on Zoom? And did you guys feel that you really did what you wanted to do?
I think so. We were able to, of course, it's very different, but it became closer to what an on-camera class would be like, right? So you're not seeing the full body in front of you, but you're able to really read emotion and behavior in somebody's face. And then as we got more familiar with it, we started setting our Zoom cameras up further away so that we could do activities and somebody could be in their kitchen doing a scene that takes place in a kitchen. And it all just finally came into its own sort of sense of reality. We all just got so used to it and we're able to read behavior really well through that medium.
Oh, that's great. Now, we just have about 30 seconds left in this segment, but I did want to ask you, Heather, before we say goodbye to you, I know pretty Tiny Beautiful Things is coming up. So as the board chair, kind of what are your expectations for that in this 30 seconds?
We're so excited that this is our first kind of return to the theater, Tiny Beautiful Things. We planned to do this play before the pandemic, and it was part of that season that we had to cancel. And now we think it's absolutely the perfect time for this play. It's the play that Nashville needs right now. It's healing and wonderful, and we just can't wait to be back in the space in Dark Horse with Tiny Beautiful Things in April.
Okay. Heather, thank you so much for being with us. Vali's not going anywhere. We have to take a short break. But when we come back, we're talking Tiny Beautiful Things. You're watching Out and About Today.